Welcome to When Nerds Learn to Fly. Well guys, it looks like the angry hurricane god Irma has decided that she doesn't want us leaving for Tibet. Yeah, that's right. We're still in Florida. First, let me say to those who are trying to recover from Hurricane Irma, you are in our thoughts. There are a lot of people out there who are dealing with a lot more problems than what we are right now, and my heart goes out to them. As far as what we're dealing with right now, we've got a downed fence, some downed limbs, but minimal damage, and we feel very, very lucky. What did get destroyed is the plans for us to travel to Tibet in September. Don't worry, there's good news. I think the last time I video blogged, we had changed our flight from Sunday to Saturday to try to fly out before the storm. They had canceled the flight on Saturday, so we had transferred the ticket to leave on Tuesday. Here we are, a week later. They canceled the flight on Tuesday also. At that point, we'd almost given up because we really didn't know how that would work with the Tibetan permit and with the guide in Tibet. As a last hope, I sent an email to Explore Tibet explaining our circumstances. We just asked what would be the fees if we changed our itinerary to a month later in October. Truthfully, I was expecting for them to say, "You're not going to make it, your trip is canceled, and you've lost all your money." Let me say this, if you are going to plan a trip to Tibet, go through exploretibet.com. These guys were amazing to us, and I am so thankful for them. The person that we were going through, Sherry, got in contact with her manager. They let us know that as long as we still did the tour, they could change the dates without any fees. This was huge for us. We usually budget travel. This was going to be an expensive trip anyway, and the most expensive portion was going to be that portion in Tibet. Typically we don't do tours, but you cannot go to Tibet unless you have a guide. We opted to do a private guide and driver. We like the freedom, and we like that you don't have to compromise with 100 other people. We talked to them. We planned dates in October. Now, mind you, I'm doing this on a Sunday evening as the winds are starting to whip up, as Hurricane Irma is starting to get very close to us. I'm racing the clock. Once the hurricane hits, we don't know if we're going to lose electric, and we don't know when the electric will come back on. We have already canceled, rebooked, canceled, rebooked, canceled, rebooked hotels, airport parking, and flights. So this is the first time we're changing anything with the tour in Tibet. We get a hold of United Airlines. They set us up for a flight leaving October 8th, returning the 24th. We thought we would stay a couple of days in Xi'an, then take the train to Lhasa, and then after our Tibetan portion, come back to Xi'an and fly out of Xi'an after being there for 3 days. Late Monday, we got another email from Explore Tibet. Tibetan permits are going to be closed between the 18th and the 28th of October. That clipped the back end portion of our Lhasa trip. They're not letting foreign tourists into Tibet. Yet again, the angry gods are after our Tibetan trip. I talked to Sherry and I asked, what if we take a train on the 10th? That means we'll arrive late on the 11th. We take our tour then, we could leave on the 18th. She responds back, no, you have to be out by the 17th. That would cut a day off your trip. Well, I don't want to miss any of that portion in Lhasa. I mean, that's the meat of our trip. That's the main reason we're going. So I asked her, so if we're able to get a flight on the 10th, we will arrive early morning on the 10th. Would we then be able to do it? And she said, yes, you'll be able to fly in on the 10th, have your tour, and leave on the 17th by train. If we're able to get tickets, then we would just have a big section of our trip in Xi'an at the end. I wanted to get a hotel right there at the airport, so we fly in on the 9th to Xi'an, and we'll spend overnight at a airport hotel very close to the airport, free shuttle service, which is great. and then we'll fly out on the 10th. So rearranging again, that means hotel bookings, booking a flight. We're going to have to repack again. Now that we're traveling in October, it's almost a month later, and since Xi'an's at the end of our trip, it's almost 2 months later. That means the weather's going to be a little bit cooler. This will be maybe the third time we've repacked for this trip. I feel like I'm getting a lot of experience through this trip as far as booking hotels, as far as packing. We're a little bit shell-shocked. Every time we see the silver lining, it seems like a rainstorm comes in and blocks out that silver lining. We're hopeful that this trip can be salvaged. Like I say, I look for the silver lining, so I'm excited about flying into Lhasa and the chance that we might be able to see the Himalayan mountain ranges from the plane. That's where we are right now. It seems like When Nerds Learn to Fly still hasn't gotten off the ground on this trip. We're hopeful. Maybe soon there'll be some video blogs from Tibet and China.